Alright, before I get into the video, I want to say a few things. Thank you viewer for taking the time to look at my video, it means a lot. Also make sure to subscribe if you are new here. Entitled Mom asks me to give her one of my dogs. Okay, so, up until this happened to me, I thought most of the entitled parents' stories were bullshit. But this happened to me, and I've started believing a lot more of the stories here. This happened to me a good few months ago. My landlord was selling the house that me and my family lived in, and we couldn't find a house that we could afford to rent before we had to move out, so we ended up moving in with my aunt. My aunt lives pretty close to the center of a small town, 8k people, and there's a gate to the back garden beside her house. You can see, somewhat, into the garden through it. My aunt has 2 dogs, tiny chihuahuas, and I have one, a beagle/Dalmatian mix. She's chubby, so we had 3 dogs living in the house. When the dogs are bored they love standing at that little gate and barking at people who walk past. One day I was home alone. My sister was at school and my parents and aunt were working, so I was in the kitchen, cooking dinner for my family while the dogs ran circles around the garden and barked at everything that moved. This also sucked because there was a vet's office directly beside us and the vet's parking was behind the office, meaning that anyone who brings any animals into the vet could be seen from our garden. Which means it could be seen by the dogs too, and every single time they saw anyone bring in an animal they went crazy. This meant that it was completely normal for the dogs to be barking like mad. I heard a knock on the door, and I assumed it was my dad coming home from work early or coming to pick up something that he left at home. I usually lock the door when I'm home alone and he often forgets his keys. The door wasn't locked this time, but sometimes he rings the doorbell without even checking if the door is open. I unlocked the door, and there stood a lady, I'll call her EP, with her kid in tow. The dogs were standing at the gate, absolutely losing their minds that someone dared to stand in front of their house. Then, the following convo happens, paraphrased. This conversation happened a good few months ago, maybe even around a year ago, so I don't remember it very well. EP, hi, sorry for bothering you, I had shouted just come in at them in Polish earlier since I thought it was my dad. She probably thought I was getting angry about someone ringing the doorbell. Her apologizing for bothering me made me think she was gonna be nice. Me, oh, hello. EP, I saw you have puppies in your garden. They're very nice. Me, oh haha, yeah they are. EP, my daughter really liked them. Me, oh, I'm glad. EP, how many dogs do you have? Me, There's 3. EP, could you give us one? Me, what? I'm sorry, no. EP, it looks like you have a lot more than 3 dogs in there. You could give us one. She's smiling, but her eyes are starting to look a lot less friendly. Me, no. There's just the 3. EP, are you sure? If you're going to be selling the puppies anyways, you can give one to us. Me, sorry miss, but they're all grown dogs. I have no puppies to give you. Goodbye. Starts closing door. EP, goodbye. They're very nice dogs. She says as she starts walking away. The ending of the conversation was awkward, though it wasn't this abrupt. I don't remember exactly how the ending of the conversation went though. She didn't drag it out nearly as long as she could have, but that last "they're very nice dogs" freaked me out so much that I kept the dogs inside for the next few days and only let them into the garden while I was standing there, watching them. It was also crazy to have some lady knock on my door and try to convince me to give her one of my dogs. This one isn't too crazy, but I still thought I'd share. Thanks for reading, hope you have a good day, smiley face. Edit, fixed formatting, I'm on mobile and didn't realize it was fucked up until way later. M demands free food and then pepper sprays me. Yeah, what the title says is true. This actually happened last week. Obligatory mobile speech, yada yada. Some slight backstory: I, 16M, work at a restaurant known for fancy foods and the like, so we get a lot of business. Especially during the summer. We had just reopened for business after the corona lockdown and more people had started to come in to eat. About the layout of the restaurant, the dishwashing room has two entrances across from each other, with one that leads to the kitchen and one that leads to the dining room. Also, when someone orders a dish, we put the food right into the dish, like most restaurants. Now with that out of the way, let's get into the story. Keep in mind, me, hi, M, you know, K, M's child, doesn't say anything, but just stands there. Sous chef. It was a busy day and I was running around the dishwashing room to get stuff done when M and K come through the doorway. This isn't that unusual, as some people may have missed the bathrooms and came down this hallway instead. Not trying to be rude, I say, me, hello. Are you looking for someone? M, in a sweet tone, yes actually, I'm looking for the dishwasher. This is odd because I just clean the dishes, I don't make them. Me, that would be me. M, dropping the voice, I want a full refund. My plate had food on it, and it was disgusting. My baby couldn't eat his food because of it. Me, well, I'm not the person to talk to about the quality of the food. And the plates always come with your food on it. M, no. You don't understand. There was food on my plate. As in it was not clean. And yes, you are the person to talk to about this. Now I want to see your manager. Me, knowing where this is going, well, the chef isn't here today, but SC is right there if you need him. But as you can see, I turn around and grab a bunch of knives and turn around. I have a lot of stuff to do and you aren't supposed to be here, so why? All of a sudden, M lets out a huge scream as she eyes me with fear. Then, out of her purse she pulls a bottle of pepper spray and sprays my face. I am carrying things in both my hands so I cannot block it. It takes a second, but my eyes start to burn and I drop everything and cover my face. All of this is happening while M is screaming her head off, yelling. M, help! Help! He's trying to kill me and my boy. Help, help! By now I am on the ground curled up. I can't see, and it burns bad. Me, a. The other people who work there, including SC, rush into the dishwashing room. Everyone is yelling, with M trying to tell people I was going to attack her, K screaming about me on the floor, and me trying to stand up without bumping into anything. It was at this point that M realized what she was doing and got the fuck out of there. I got some help and got to the bathroom to wash my eyes out, and I got the day off with full pay. Nevertheless, M got banned from our restaurant and we warned the other restaurants in our area about her, so I don't think she will be going out to eat anytime soon. All's well that ends well and all that. Thanks for reading. The school bus driver of 20 years got arrested and put in prison because of a seat. Backstory of first meeting EP, my bus driver was the best. He worked only for my school and did 2 runs a day for my school. He would always pull up to our stop in the morning and 10 minutes early, so if anyone needed to go to the shop to buy lunch for the day he would take us. He used to decorate his bus to every holiday or season and he respected all of us. He would talk to us all the time and if something was wrong he would take time to speak to us. And one day this lady, EP, got on the bus with her child in the morning to go to school. He got to the stop 10 minutes early like usual and some of us needed some lunch, so we stopped at the shop. EP talked loudly on FaceTime the whole time, and when we stopped and some of us got off she started shouting asking why we stopped, so bus driver explained and she carried on shouting and cussing at him, but he just took it and stopped her closing the doors. Our bus had an emergency lock from the inside so the doors couldn't be opened until the police arrived, and just stood in her way until we got back. Then he said the usual, everybody in their seats or we can't go anywhere, so she sat back down sulking, glaring at all of us who went to get lunch. She then complained to the school about him, but all his good reviews made them brush it off. The firing of the bus driver. One day about 6 to 7 months after the incident we meet EP once again. This time she was getting on after school. On the first trip she went to the back to lay down on the seats as it was a long row. However, this time she couldn't as there was more people who rode the bus every day in the afternoon and the eldest kid would sit at the back middle with 4 people of their choice. Everybody was cool with this as everybody had their own group they sat with. This total Karen chucks the money at the bus driving making it fall everywhere, then stomps to the back cause she sees someone in the seat she wants. She says, and I will remember this line forever, "Get out of my seat you little ginger," was blonde, "come stain so I can lay down," but she didn't say this discreetly, she yelled it so people walking by could hear it. The eldest said no and her little brother began to cry. The bus driver tells her in a stern adult voice to sit down in an unoccupied seat and not bother the kids. She storms off the bus but leaves her kid and bring over the headmaster, almost dragging her across the road. EP was screaming at her saying that bus driver was a pedophile and how dare he not make them move and he is making the kids sit separately due to race. We was from everywhere but we found it nice to sit with people who spoke the same language. The bus driver and the eldest kid explain everything that happened to the furious head and EP lied about the statement she made to the children earlier. So the driver pulled up the cameras but there was no sound so nothing could be proven. The police arrived and the first thing EP said to them was bus driver is a racist pedophile, and even with the bus drivers and camera footage and the eldest kid's story and many others they still believed Karen. The police arrested the bus driver and he was given 2 years in prison for verbal abuse, for high potential child molestation, not proven or true. We never saw him again and all the other drivers was super strict and wouldn't even let us talk or give us time to get lunch. Aftermath of the bus driver, I saw him recently like a year ago or something and we both recognized each other. I'm 16 now so was about 5 to 6 years since that day. And he explained what happened after he got taken away and how his wife and kids left him and took everything and how he became an alcoholic after he got out of prison and is unable to get a job due to the charges and his dream was to drive buses. And how the Karen did get £150 fine for throwing coins at him and one giving him a black eye. Yeah, that's how hard she threw them. He was nice and I brought him lunch with the money I just got paid from work. So to this day everybody hates EP and her kid for this. And I'm sorry there isn't a lot of EP shouting and fits, it was a while ago and didn't want to make the post too long. I could not go to my friend's Christmas party cause a entitled parent though I was a Nazi. So, a bit of context. I have a WW2 historical reenactment club where we play out the most famous battles with paintball guns. The guns look almost like the real guns from World War II and our uniforms are copies from the actual war. On the German uniforms on the officers we just have an iron cross instead of swastika. I am a German solider in the club just to clarify. Anyways, now the story. So like the title says, my family were going Christmas party at a friend's and my mom started grabbing Christmas stuff, and since I have not been in the house for a couple of years I just grabbed the WW2 club stuff. We were having a battle of Bastogne fight. I got my stuff, put it in the car with my uniform clearly showing the other houses. Most of my neighbors already know about this as we fight in my backyard sometime and that many people with what they have it's easy to figure out. Well, I have 2 club members with me as they wanted to figure out what the German stuff was like and I have some at my mom's. When we start to go I see that a car is blocking off our driveway. I think it is one out the club members but say they came in one car. I recognize the car and go to the house where it's from and knock. Characters me F1 friend 1 F2 friend 2 and of course M entitled mum and K nice kid. I knock on the door and it opens and I already know this is gonna be a bad day. Me, hi miss, is that you car that is blocking off our driveway? M, yes. Me, would you be kind to move it please, we have to go somewhere. M, why would I be kind to a Nazi? Me, what? I am genuinely confused. M, I see you with your friends dressing up with your weapons probably about to go rob someone or, I can't even think the possibilities. Me, lady, we're not Nazis, just part of a historical WW2 club. Then my friend pull out a membership card proving my statement. Me, see. No, who would even want to do that? That's how I know you're telling a lie. So I am used to taking crap from this generation for then complete and utter lack of general understanding of history, no interest and almost hatred of it. But I have OCD, so I get mad easily. I telling me just because you and some of this generation are. I try and hold myself. Thing about me is when I'm thinking logically and mad I can fumble you up so hard, let's just say that. Me it you don't move you car we are. You can't do that, I parked where I wanted to park. You Nazi scumbags don't deserve to hurt other people in Christmas Day. Me we're not hurting anyone. F1 look miss, we just want to go to a Christmas party. With your guns, no. I should call the police for trying to harm the public. F1 looked dumbfounded. F1 they're paintball guns and we're doing a battle before we do Christmas stuff, so decide stuff. That is just a story. Nazis always lie to get their way. You are no way respectful for the Jews. Actually I am, cause not every detail was put in, like the swastika, SS banners. No one was a Waffen SS uniform. We have kept in mind of that, and this was able to actually have several Jews in our club. But I didn't say that I was done with this. Me okay, we're moving you car. I get my truck and get permission to drive in someone's yard to get around the roadblock. I get in front of the car, and connect the front toe with my back to, like the front of the car up, and drag it away. In the most high-pitched and young voice ever, you can't move my car, I am trying to save people and I get car damage in return. Note her car was not damaged. She ends up calling the police and we tell them the true story, along the club, her, roadblock, and is confirmed by a key eyewitness. Her own son said that she has been planning this and was angry her view of the earth and is placed so when our car drives out, it blocks it, and she wanted to fix that. We live on a tiny hill, but at the top it becomes a 20 cliff with fencing, but the view of the down there lake is awesome. All this proving her wrong while she still kept with her story that she was trying to defend the public with no proof and a witness again her. She was charged $250 for blocking off a driveway, which is illegal here, and we pressed charges for harassment. I never went to the Christmas party but saw us getting some money. Make sure to like, share, subscribe if you haven't done yet. Thanks for watching.